Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, standing at the 2016 Oscars for The Revenant, is the embodiment of both triumph and perseverance. The statuette in his hands is not just recognition for a stellar performance, but also the culmination of decades of carefully planned decisions. His journey from teenage heartthrob in Titanic to one of Hollywood's most respected actors illustrates the power of strategy, ambition, and reinvention. DiCaprio's career has been a series of lucky breaks, not just the roles he's taken, the deals he's negotiated, and the brands he's built over time. His Oscar moment represents the pinnacle of a career that has transcended the stereotypical trajectory of movie stars. In this story, we explore how DiCaprio's career choices have always defied all odds and set him apart from other actors. What sets him apart from his peers is not just his undeniable talent, but the thoughtful and often courageous decisions he makes regarding his roles, salary negotiations, and partnerships. DiCaprio realized early on that being a successful movie star was not enough for him. His path had to be paved with integrity, authenticity, and financial savvy. This video delves into how these decisions helped him avoid being pigeonholed and helped him forge a path toward lasting success. When James Cameron approached Leonardo DiCaprio for the role of Jack Dawson in Titanic, 1997, DiCaprio was initially hesitant to accept the part. By this time, he had already achieved recognition as a serious actor through films like What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Romeo plus Juliet, and he was wary of being typecast as a romantic lead. The thought of playing the love-struck young man on the ill-fated ship did not initially appeal to him. DiCaprio, whose career had thus far been defined by his ability to tackle emotionally complex roles, feared that Titanic would pigeonhole him as a heartthrob for teen audiences, a stereotype that could stunt his artistic growth. However, James Cameron, the visionary director of Titanic, had other ideas. Cameron, who had an intense vision for the film, knew that the right actor for Jack was essential to the film's success. DiCaprio's talent and charm, combined with his ability to bring an authentic sense of youthful innocence and romantic passion to a character, made him the perfect fit. Cameron's persistent persuasion was instrumental in convincing DiCaprio to take on the role. The director emphasized the complexity of Jack's character, his rise from humble beginnings, his free-spirited personality, and his undeniable chemistry with Kate Winslet's character, Rose, conveying that the role was more than just a love interest. DiCaprio's reluctance began to dissipate as he learned more about the script and Cameron's vision. His charm during auditions and his natural connection with Kate Winslet, who was also somewhat apprehensive about being typecast, ultimately sealed the deal. The chemistry between DiCaprio and Winslet was undeniable, and together they brought a fresh depth to the classic romance that would resonate with audiences for years to come. Once Titanic hit theaters in December 1997, the film became an unprecedented cultural phenomenon, shattering box office records and becoming the highest-grossing film of all time, until Avatar overtook it in 2009. The film's global success was staggering. Titanic grossed over $2 billion worldwide, a feat that no film had ever accomplished before. The film's immense popularity also turned DiCaprio into a global superstar, known to audiences around the world as the face of one of the most iconic films in cinematic history. The success of Titanic was not only a career-defining moment for DiCaprio, but also a major turning point for the film industry. The film's remarkable box office performance demonstrated the power of global audiences, the importance of star power. It became a textbook example of how a talented actor, paired with a visionary director and a compelling script, could create cinematic magic while simultaneously securing their place in Hollywood's A-list roster. After the massive success of Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio was at a crossroads. With his heartthrob status cemented, DiCaprio had to decide whether to continue capitalizing on his fame by taking more romantic roles or to deliberately pivot toward more challenging, complex characters that would push his acting boundaries. Rather than continuing down the romantic hero path, DiCaprio chose the latter, refusing to be boxed into one-dimensional roles. This shift in his career was deliberate and marked by an increasing willingness to take risks in terms of both the roles he chose and the directors he worked with. His choice of films during the post-Titanic period demonstrated his commitment to reinvention. In 2000, DiCaprio starred in The Beach, a film that seemed to be a natural fit for his reputation as a teen idol, but was actually far more complex in terms of themes. Directed by Danny Boyle, The Beach saw DiCaprio play Richard, a backpacker who ventures to a secluded island in search of paradise, only to find a dark and twisted reality. The role was a departure from his previous romantic leads, introducing him as someone willing to take on darker, more morally ambiguous characters. Although the film was divisive and not a major box office success, it marked a turning point in DiCaprio's career, showing audiences and industry insiders alike that he was willing to take risks and expand his repertoire. Next, DiCaprio starred in Catch Me If You Can, 2002, directed by Steven Spielberg. In this film, DiCaprio played Frank Bagnall Jr., a charming con artist who impersonated an airline pilot, doctor, and lawyer before being caught by the FBI. This was a major departure from DiCaprio's previous roles as a romantic lead, showcasing his ability to balance humor and tension while playing a real-life character. The film was a critical and commercial success, and DiCaprio's performance was widely praised, helping to establish his growing range as an actor. DiCaprio's choice of these serious, character-driven roles was key to his transformation from a teen idol to a serious actor with staying power in Hollywood. A major turning point in DiCaprio's career came with his partnership with legendary director Martin Scorsese. Their first collaboration, Gangs of New York, 2002, marked the beginning of what would become a long and fruitful relationship, with DiCaprio becoming Scorsese's go-to leading man. The film, set in 19th century New York City, was a historical drama about the violent clashes between immigrant gangs and nativist forces. DiCaprio's performance as Amsterdam Vallon, a young man seeking revenge for the murder of his father, was a key part of the film's success. Gangs of New York marked the start of DiCaprio's shift away from his earlier image as a romantic lead to becoming a compelling figure in historical epics and dark character-driven dramas. After Gangs of New York, DiCaprio and Scorsese went on to work together on several other high-profile films. In The Aviator, 2004, DiCaprio portrayed Howard Hughes, the eccentric billionaire who revolutionized the aviation industry while battling mental illness. The role required DiCaprio to navigate complex emotional terrain, portraying Hughes at various stages of his life, from a young, ambitious filmmaker to an older, paranoid recluse. DiCaprio's performance was widely lauded, earning him a Golden Globe Award and another Academy Award nomination. The Aviator cemented DiCaprio's status as a serious actor, one who was capable of taking on multifaceted roles in high-budget biographical films. In 2006, DiCaprio reunited with Scorsese for The Departed, a crime thriller set in Boston. DiCaprio played Billy Costigan, a police officer who goes undercover in a mob syndicate. His performance, filled with tension and internal conflict, showcased his ability to balance vulnerability with toughness. The film was a critical and commercial success, ultimately winning several Academy Awards, including Best Picture. DiCaprio's performance in The Departed further established him as a versatile actor capable of excelling in both drama and crime genres. The final chapter in their collaboration during this period came with Shutter Island, 2010, a psychological thriller about two U.S. Marshals who investigate the disappearance of a patient from a mental institution. DiCaprio's portrayal of Teddy Daniels, a man unraveling the mystery of the island while dealing with his own mental health issues, was another example of his ability to portray complex and layered characters. While the film was not as commercially successful as The Departed or The Aviator, it was a critical success and further showcased DiCaprio's deepening commitment to working with auteurs. As DiCaprio's collaboration with Martin Scorsese flourished, he expanded his relationships with other respected directors, each of whom helped refine his brand as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors. His partnership with Christopher Nolan on Inception, 2010, marked a dramatic shift in the types of films he chose to take on. Inception was a mind-bending science fiction thriller that delved into the world of dreams and the subconscious. DiCaprio played Dom Cobb, a thief who specializes in extraction, stealing valuable secrets from people's minds while they dream. The role required DiCaprio to balance emotional depth with a high-concept, action-packed narrative, demonstrating his ability to perform in a blockbuster while still maintaining his reputation for complex roles. Nolan's film also elevated DiCaprio's status in the science fiction genre, a realm he had never explored before. The success of Inception, both commercially and critically, solidified DiCaprio's place as one of the most reliable and bankable stars in Hollywood, capable of carrying large-scale, high-concept films while still bringing emotional depth and nuance to his characters. His performance in Inception further demonstrated his range, showing that he could be an action hero while still offering a grounded, relatable, emotional core to his character. Another crucial step in DiCaprio's career came with his collaboration with Quentin Tarantino on Django Unchained, 2012. Playing Calvin Candy, a sadistic plantation owner, DiCaprio took on one of his most villainous roles to date. The role was a stark departure from his previous performances, showcasing his ability to dive into darker, more morally complex characters. DiCaprio's portrayal of Candy was chilling, yet deeply layered, demonstrating his capacity for both charisma and cruelty. The film was a critical and commercial success, and DiCaprio's performance was widely praised for its depth and complexity. Working with directors like Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino helped DiCaprio carve out a brand that was defined not just by his impressive resume of collaborations with auteurs like Scorsese, but by his ability to seamlessly blend into different genres and showcase a diverse range of characters. With each film, DiCaprio proved that he was far from the typecast teen heartthrob that he had once feared becoming. His commitment to working with visionary directors, taking on challenging roles, and continually refining his craft ensured that he was recognized not only as a star, but also as an actor of immense depth and range, capable of playing characters in films of every genre. This period marked the true maturation of DiCaprio's brand. He was no longer simply a leading man. He was an artist, carefully curating his career with a clear and calculated vision. To understand Leonardo DiCaprio's financial success, it's essential to grasp the concept of back-end deals, a financial arrangement that has been instrumental in his rise to one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. Unlike a traditional deal where an actor is paid an upfront salary, a back-end deal allows the actor to receive a percentage of the film's profits, box office revenue, or both. This agreement is often tied to a film's financial performance, so an actor can earn a substantially higher sum if the film performs well at the box office. In essence, the actor is betting on the film's success and sharing in its financial windfall. This model differs significantly from the more standard approach where an actor receives a fixed salary. While the upfront payment guarantees immediate earnings, the back-end deal has the potential for much larger payouts, especially if the film becomes a major hit. This arrangement is often reserved for A-list stars and those who have the leverage to negotiate for a piece of a movie's profits. DiCaprio has used this strategy to his advantage, earning millions from films that became global successes. One of the most famous and lucrative back-end deals in Hollywood history involved Titanic, 1997. Directed by James Cameron, Titanic was a landmark film, both in terms of production budget and box office performance. DiCaprio, who was still establishing himself as a leading man, faced initial hesitation in accepting the role of Jack Dawson, fearing typecasting as a romantic hero. However, once he signed on, DiCaprio negotiated a back-end deal that would ultimately pay off handsomely. Although he earned $2.5 million as his upfront salary for the film, DiCaprio's back-end deal allowed him to take a percentage of the movie's profits, which would later skyrocket due to Titanic's unprecedented success. The film went on to gross over $2 billion globally, making it the highest-grossing film of all time at that point, until Avatar surpassed it in 2009. DiCaprio's back-end deal earned him an additional $40 million, a sum far surpassing what he would have received had he accepted a larger upfront payment. This deal not only solidified his financial future, but also helped him become known as an actor with significant bargaining power in Hollywood. Another example of DiCaprio's financial strategy is his role in Inception, 2010, directed by Christopher Nolan. Inception was a complex, high-concept science fiction thriller that required a significant financial investment and a large star cast. DiCaprio, by this point an established A-list actor, was able to negotiate a back-end deal for his role as Dom Cobb, a skilled thief who infiltrates people's dreams to steal their secrets. The film grossed nearly $830 million worldwide, far exceeding its $160 million production budget. DiCaprio's back-end deal in Inception was reportedly even more lucrative than his initial salary. By taking a percentage of the box office revenue, DiCaprio was paid an additional $50 million from the film's profits. This strategic move demonstrated DiCaprio's growing understanding of the financial side of Hollywood, recognizing that a movie with potential for both critical acclaim and commercial success was worth betting on. The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013, directed by Martin Scorsese, was another key film in DiCaprio's career that benefited from a back-end deal. The film, based on the memoir of stockbroker Jordan Belfort, was highly anticipated, given its pedigree of director, cast, and subject matter. DiCaprio, whose salary for the film was reportedly around $10 million, also had a back-end agreement that would ensure a portion of the profits, including any earnings from the film's home video sales, streaming, and global box office. The Wolf of Wall Street grossed over $392 million globally, and DiCaprio's back-end deal paid off once again, reportedly earning him an additional $20 million. This film was a major success and cemented his ability to choose roles that not only offered creative fulfillment but also guaranteed major financial returns, reinforcing his reputation as an actor with a keen sense of the business side of filmmaking. While DiCaprio's back-end deals are among the most well-known in Hollywood, they are not unique to him alone. Other top stars, such as Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr., have similarly leveraged back-end deals to enhance their earnings. However, DiCaprio's decision to embrace back-end deals from relatively early in his career set him apart from many other stars who opted for larger upfront salaries but missed out on the financial windfalls of back-end percentages. For example, when Titanic became the highest-grossing film in history, many actors who had negotiated standard contracts missed out on the immense profits generated from its success. The few who did have back-end deals, like DiCaprio, made significantly more money than their peers. Similarly, stars who take upfront salaries without negotiating back-end agreements often see their earnings plateau, even if the films they appear in become massive hits. DiCaprio's decision to opt for back-end deals reflects a level of financial savvy and long-term thinking that has allowed him to accumulate a fortune that far exceeds the typical Hollywood salary for an actor of his caliber. Instead of taking an immediate paycheck, he chose to share in the future success of the films he worked on, and the payoff has been enormous. In addition to his strategic back-end deals, DiCaprio's financial success has also been bolstered by his venture into film production. In 2004, DiCaprio founded his own production company, Appian Way Productions. This move was driven by a desire for greater control over the creative and financial aspects of the projects he was involved in. By becoming a producer, DiCaprio could not only shape the kinds of films he worked on, but also secure a piece of the film's profits beyond just acting. One of the first films produced under the Appian Way banner was The 11th Hour, 2007, a documentary that DiCaprio co-produced and narrated, focusing on climate change and environmental issues. While this was a relatively low-budget project, it marked the beginning of DiCaprio's deeper involvement in producing socially conscious content. However, it was with films like The Revenant, 2015, and Don't Look Up, 2021, that Appian Way truly gained prominence. In The Revenant, DiCaprio not only starred, but also served as a producer through Appian Way. The film, which tells the harrowing story of a frontiersman's struggle for survival and revenge, was a major commercial and critical success, earning DiCaprio his first Academy Award for Best Actor. The film's immense success was partly attributed to its brutal production process and its innovative cinematography, and DiCaprio's behind-the-scenes involvement was integral to its realization. As a producer, DiCaprio had a say in the film's direction, funding, and distribution, ensuring that he had control over the financial success of the project. Similarly, with Don't Look Up, a satirical disaster film directed by Adam McKay, DiCaprio was able to use his production company's resources to influence the direction of the film, which was released on Netflix in 2021. The film, which explored the imminent destruction of Earth by a comet, blended dark humor with social commentary and became one of Netflix's most watched films at the time. DiCaprio's dual role as both star and producer allowed him to control the creative direction while also benefiting financially from its success. By founding Appian Way, DiCaprio ensured that he was not just an actor in the traditional sense, but a key player in shaping the stories that were brought to the big screen. His ability to produce high-profile films further amplified his earning potential, as he could now participate in both the back-end profits of films as an actor and also take a share as a producer. This strategy of combining acting and producing has been a key factor in DiCaprio's financial success and has allowed him to sustain a long and lucrative career in Hollywood. Through back-end deals, wise investments, and his role as a producer, DiCaprio has secured a unique financial position in Hollywood, proving that his strategic approach to money-making has been as calculated and successful as his approach to acting. Leonardo DiCaprio's career is as much about the roles he has accepted as it is about the ones he turned down. From superhero blockbusters to major franchise films, DiCaprio made calculated decisions to pass on lucrative opportunities, prioritizing his artistic ambitions over guaranteed box office successes. One of the most famous roles DiCaprio declined was Peter Parker's Spider-Man in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. At the time, superhero films were gaining traction, and this role offered the potential for massive commercial success. However, DiCaprio, fresh off the cultural juggernaut that was Titanic, was wary of becoming typecast or tied to a single character over multiple films. By turning down Spider-Man, which later went to Tobey Maguire, a close friend of DiCaprio's, he avoided the trappings of franchise commitments and maintained his flexibility to pursue diverse and challenging projects. Similarly, he declined an offer to play Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones. While the role could have cemented his place in yet another iconic franchise, DiCaprio was reportedly not sold on the part or the direction of the prequels. Choosing not to align himself with a project of that magnitude demonstrated his foresight in protecting his brand as an actor. Beyond franchises, DiCaprio also passed on leading roles in films like Hocus Pocus and Boogie Nights. The former, a 1993 Disney film, was offered to him during his early career. He turned it down to focus on What's Eating Gilbert Grape, a decision that earned him his first Oscar nomination. For Boogie Nights, DiCaprio reportedly loved the script but chose to work on Titanic instead, a decision that ultimately propelled him into global stardom. By declining these roles, DiCaprio avoided being pigeonholed into conventional or commercially safe characters, preserving his reputation as a serious actor willing to take risks. DiCaprio's rejection of high-paying offers underscores his commitment to roles that align with his artistic goals rather than his bank account. In an industry where actors often chase blockbuster roles to maximize visibility and earnings, DiCaprio's choices reflect a deliberate effort to prioritize the long-term health of his career over short-term gains. Turning down Spider-Man or Star Wars could have been risky, given the guaranteed exposure and financial security they offered. However, these decisions helped cement his status as an actor dedicated to exploring complex, thought-provoking characters. This focus on quality over quantity earned him respect among peers and directors, paving the way for collaborations with auteurs like Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan. DiCaprio's willingness to forego immediate paychecks for challenging and critically rewarding roles has been a hallmark of his career. A prime example is his performance in Revolutionary Road, 2008, where he reunited with Titanic co-star Kate Winslet. The film, directed by Sam Mendes, was a raw and emotionally intense exploration of a fractured marriage. It was not the type of film likely to rake in millions at the box office, but DiCaprio chose it for its depth and the opportunity to work with Winslet again on a demanding project. Though Revolutionary Road did not achieve massive commercial success, it earned widespread critical acclaim, with DiCaprio's performance praised for its intensity and vulnerability. The decision to prioritize such a role showcased his preference for projects that could further his craft and legacy rather than roles that promised only financial rewards. Another example is The Aviator, 2004, where DiCaprio portrayed Howard Hughes, a complex and troubled aviation pioneer. The film was a labor of love for DiCaprio, who spent years working to get the project off the ground. While it required significant personal investment and risk, the film's critical success and multiple Oscar nominations reinforced DiCaprio's position as one of Hollywood's most committed actors. This strategic approach also extended to his work in The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013. Despite the film's controversial content and the risks associated with its unabashed depiction of excess, DiCaprio championed the project as a producer and actor. The result was not only one of his most iconic roles, but also a film that became a cultural phenomenon, cementing his legacy as an actor unafraid to take risks. While DiCaprio's choices may seem purely artistic, they also have a pragmatic side. By building a career centered on critical acclaim and artistic integrity, DiCaprio has positioned himself as a bankable star who can bring prestige to commercial films. This balance has allowed him to command higher salaries for projects that do align with his vision, as studios are willing to pay a premium for his star power and the cachet he brings to a film. By declining roles that didn't align with his artistic goals and embracing projects that pushed his limits, DiCaprio has not only protected his reputation, but also elevated it. His career choices reflect a deep understanding of the long game in Hollywood, proving that sometimes the most significant risks come from saying no. His financial savvy has influenced other A-list actors. For example, Robert Downey Jr. famously adopted a back-end deal for his role in Iron Man, which eventually made him one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors due to the Marvel Cinematic Universe's massive success. Similarly, Sandra Bullock leveraged back-end agreements for Gravity, earning significant profits once the film surpassed expectations at the box office. DiCaprio's willingness to bet on his films' success has encouraged a shift toward performance-based earnings, aligning financial rewards with a movie's outcome. DiCaprio's career choices have also normalized the trend of actors stepping into production roles. By founding Appian Way Productions, he not only gained creative control, but also expanded his earning potential. This dual role has set a precedent for actors like Margot Robbie, who has followed in his footsteps by producing films like Barbie while maintaining a thriving acting career. DiCaprio's career has become a blueprint for the next generation of actors striving to balance commercial success with artistic integrity. His decision to collaborate with visionary directors and take on challenging roles has earned him admiration from peers and newcomers alike. Actors such as Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya have cited DiCaprio as a role model, praising his ability to maintain authenticity in a notoriously demanding industry. In interviews, younger actors often emphasize how DiCaprio's disciplined approach to role selection and his focus on quality over quantity have inspired their own decisions. Chalamet once shared that he looks to DiCaprio's trajectory as an example of how to navigate fame while staying true to one's craft. Similarly, Florence Pugh has spoken about learning from DiCaprio's ability to manage a multifaceted career without compromising his principles. DiCaprio's ethical standards extend beyond his film choices. On set, he is known for being professional, dedicated, and collaborative, traits that younger actors strive to emulate. His reputation as a team player, combined with his passion for storytelling, makes him a mentor figure for those entering the industry. Leonardo DiCaprio's activism has become as integral to his identity as his acting. A staunch environmentalist, DiCaprio founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, LDF, in 1998 with a mission to support global conservation efforts, combat climate change, and promote sustainability. Over the years, the foundation has funded over 200 projects across 50 countries, addressing critical issues such as wildlife conservation, renewable energy, and ocean protection. Through LDF, DiCaprio has donated millions to initiatives like rewilding ecosystems, safeguarding endangered species, and reducing deforestation. Notable campaigns include efforts to protect the Amazon rainforest and fund groundbreaking renewable energy projects in underserved regions. His leadership in environmental philanthropy earned him a position as a United Nations Messenger of Peace for Climate Change in 2014, highlighting his global influence. Beyond financial contributions, DiCaprio uses his platform to engage the public on environmental issues. Documentaries like Before the Flood and Ice on Fire showcase his commitment to raising awareness. In Before the Flood, DiCaprio journeys across continents, meeting scientists, activists, and world leaders to discuss the urgent realities of climate change. These films, widely praised for their impact, demonstrate his ability to merge art with advocacy. One of DiCaprio's most remarkable achievements is his ability to balance his illustrious acting career with his unwavering dedication to activism. Unlike many celebrities who compartmentalize their passions, DiCaprio seamlessly integrates his environmental advocacy into his Hollywood persona. Whether it's discussing climate change during an Academy Awards acceptance speech or leveraging social media to spotlight urgent causes, he ensures his activism reaches a global audience. DiCaprio's choice of roles often reflects his values. Films like The Revenant, which emphasizes the raw power of nature, and Don't Look Up, a satirical commentary on humanity's apathy toward existential threats, align with his environmental ethos. Through these projects, he communicates his message without stepping away from his primary craft. His activism also influences his production work. With Appian Way, DiCaprio has backed films and documentaries that address pressing societal issues, including environmental crises. This commitment underscores how he uses his influence not just as an actor, but as a producer and advocate to effect change. DiCaprio's efforts extend beyond individual action. He works with global leaders, scientists, and organizations to amplify his impact. He has participated in high-profile events like the Paris Climate Conference, where he urged nations to adopt ambitious climate policies. In partnership with influential entities like the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, and National Geographic, DiCaprio drives initiatives that tackle deforestation, overfishing, and carbon emissions. Moreover, his advocacy has inspired other celebrities to take action. Fellow actors like Mark Ruffalo and Emma Watson have cited DiCaprio's work as a catalyst for their own environmental endeavors. Through his persistent efforts, DiCaprio has established a culture of responsibility within Hollywood, encouraging his peers to use their platforms for meaningful causes. Despite his accomplishments, DiCaprio's activism has not been without scrutiny. Critics often point to the perceived contradiction between his environmental advocacy and aspects of his lifestyle, such as the use of private jets and yachts. While these critiques spark debate, they also highlight the challenges faced by high-profile activists in balancing personal and public responsibilities. DiCaprio addresses these concerns by acknowledging the complexity of individual versus systemic change. He frequently emphasizes the need for policy reforms and large-scale initiatives to combat environmental crises, arguing that personal actions, while important, must be complemented by collective efforts. Leonardo DiCaprio's journey from a struggling actor to a global icon is more than a story of personal triumph. It's a blueprint for redefining success in Hollywood. His path illustrates that true greatness lies in balancing risk with strategy, art with commerce, and personal ambition with global responsibility. As the industry continues to evolve, his career remains a guiding light for those who dare to dream big while staying true to their values. In an era where fame often comes fleetingly, DiCaprio's enduring legacy reminds us that lasting success is built on choices that prioritize depth, meaning, and impact. His journey challenges future generations of actors to not only aim for the stars, but to do so with purpose and integrity, because, as DiCaprio's career proves, the right decisions can create a legacy that transcends time. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed exploring the fascinating journey of Leonardo DiCaprio's rise to Hollywood stardom and want to see more deep dives into the lives of legendary actors, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite DiCaprio movie or moment in his career? Are there other actors you'd like us to cover in future videos? Drop your ideas in the comments section below. We're always excited to engage with our amazing community. Your support helps us create more content just like this, so hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest uploads. Thanks for being part of our journey, and we'll see you in the next one.